Pushing out the acid from your burps.
Mic check.
Welcome to episode 24 of the Beefy Boys podcast. This is Vito, and I'm joined here by our friendly Beefy Boys, Christian and Joe.
Your hors d'oeuvres are getting quieter and quieter, like you're embarrassed of your own catchphrase.
I'm not embarrassed of it.
Oh, derp! Oh, derp!
There you go. There's a nice mug spike. I'm eating chocolate over here.
And we're going to be talking about things and stuff as per usual.
As per usual.
Talking about things and stuff.
Hey, I got a topic I want to start with.
All right.
Vito, do you remember a few weeks ago how excited Christian was about this alternative football league called the AAF?
Oh, yeah.
I figured this was going to be the topic. I was getting ready for this one.
The AA death, you might call it.
You're so corny.
They couldn't even make it through a whole season.
They didn't make it through a whole season. They didn't make it through a whole season, and unfortunately, they went out on like really bad terms.
Oh.
So a lot of players in the league who have injuries have to pay for their own injuries now. They have to pay for their own medical bills and all that shit because the league can't afford it.
What was it? It was Johnny Manziel, I think, tweeted. I was like, hey, if you're waiting on a paycheck, forget about it. Like, you just ain't getting it. Like, it's over.
Fucking
yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
poor money man. Oh, they're not making any money, man.
What, Manziel, you talking?
Yeah, he's gonna go back to the league.
I feel like whenever you launch a product where the entire basis for survival of your product is if a larger company adopts you and needs you for their day-to-day, as in the whole idea behind the AAF, the reason they thought that they could succeed was if they became like minor league football, basically. Yeah. But they didn't actually have that affiliation with the NFL, you know? So like the idea was, let's get it running and keep it afloat until we get enough interest from the NFL to come do this. And like whenever that's your business plan, they usually don't work out.
They should have talked to, they should have worked with the NFL like years before even starting this league. It's like, kind of like the XFL back in 2000s, like in the early 2000s, they kind of just like kickstarted their own league and then just disappeared. And so now it makes for a great 30 for 30. This AAF is going to make for a terrific 30 for 30 as well. And I was really excited for this league. I mean, I don't think that the people who watched it really expected it to fail so fast.
I mean, the ratings were okay.
The ratings were good. They had big ratings. They had good networks. They had a free website where you could stream every game.
Yeah,
they had the right idea behind starting the league. They just didn't have it financially planned or ready.
This a little bit, and the two guys who founded it just ran out of money, and because it's expensive. There's like 100 people on a football team at least that you need to pay salaries for. Like it just is fucking expensive. And so they found this other guy to come in and like be their money man. And then that guy was just like, yeah, this isn't making enough money. I don't see the prospects here. And he just like unilaterally shut it down. So the two founders are like, hey, fuck off. That's not what we agreed, you asshole. Like they're straight up beefing on Twitter about it. Like, so yeah, it's kind of a mess. But yeah, as far as like,
damn.
Hot damn's right, Vito. It's a mess, and people aren't getting paid, and people who got hurt are having to pay for their own injuries. It's just a shit.
Sounds kind of like the government a little while ago.
This is not a political podcast. Don't want to talk about that.
Oopsies.
But the one thing I will say is, I think the XFL is taking a smarter approach. They announced it almost 3 years ago that they were going to come back, and it's been 3 years, and they haven't rushed their comeback. They've been taking things slow. They've been taking it the slow way, the correct way. The AAF just kind of was like, hey, Super Bowl's over, here's our league. And everybody was like, oh, fuck yeah, more football. But now, the XFL is going to take place right after the Super Bowl, which it was originally planned for, and the AAF is gone. I don't think the AAF is going to make a comeback after this, unfortunately. But other than that, I mean, I think the XFL is going to succeed only because they've taken a smarter approach.
There was two of them? I thought it was the XFL we were talking about.
No, there was two of them. See? The AAF kind of came out of nowhere. They just like, here's another football league. And everybody was like, ooh, more football, harder hits. Ooh. Quarterback's helmet flies 12 feet into the air in the first game. Fuck yeah. And so we watched that. And the games were a lot of fun. The games were tons of fun to watch. You know, we would Super Swipe Sunday, eat our burritos, and fucking watch football. It's like sick. Our season's extended by 10 weeks. And then all of a sudden, after 8 weeks, done. It's a sad thing. Sad thing. I think football deserves to be up there. I want to see international football leagues. That's what I kind of want to see.
They have the Canadian Football League.
But I want to see
rules football.
I mean, I know there is the Canadian Football League, but I want to see like the Canadian Football League play like XFL, and then Mexico somehow has their league, and they play each of us. It'd be a lot of fun. Kind of like its own football Olympics. That'd be fucking awesome. Could you imagine a big old playoff bracket with fucking shitty football teams?
Have you heard of the FCFL?
The XCFL?
FCFL, the Fan-Controlled Football League.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh.
This is a new thing that they're launching. The idea is that they're going to live stream all the games on Twitch, and the fans get to, like, choose the plays and stuff. Also, the fans get to, like, name the teams, and the team owners are all, like, celebrities and shit. Richard Sherman owns the team. Chad Ochocinco owns a team.
Now, is this like
internet celebrity Greg Miller owns a team? No, this is like a real football league with real players that they stream on Twitch, but like you get to call the plays and shit.
That's gonna plummet.
What, you don't like that idea?
That's gonna plummet.
You're just not forward thinking enough, man. It's like a real life video game.
I just don't get it. I mean, sure, it could be a real life football game, but I don't think that's gonna work.
They live stream the game.
I don't think that's gonna work.
And
not at all.
You get to pick the play as the fan, and then the quarterback runs the play you picked.
Like, we all feel confident yelling and hooting and hollering about fucking football plays when like our teams are playing. But the second you get thrown into the hot seat, everybody's going to just be like, oh, fuck, Hail Mary.
Run the ball.
Fucking slant routes. Everybody just go slant routes, quick slants.
Hey, quick slants works.
Dude, quick slants works.
Popular.
You know what the problem is, though, is I'm playing Madden again. I've dabbled back into Madden. That is a problem. And I've made a wide receiver just because I've never played with like a wide receiver character in Madden. It's always been like middle linebacker or quarterback or running back. And so I was like, yeah, let's do wide receiver. So I'm on the Bills because Josh Allen has a cannon of an arm. Mm-hmm. And I love Josh Allen and I love the Bills. And so I was like, okay, let's get the Bills a Super Bowl. I had 270 yards in the first game and a touchdown. We still lost the game because defense couldn't hold Joe Flacco's 335 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Joey Flacco.
But anyway, the problem I have with Madden quick slants when you're not in control of the quarterback, throwing the ball way too fucking early. The computer throws the ball at your character when you're in the middle of the field. Where, like, let's say C.J. Mosley or Bobby Wagner or Luke Kuechly are just waiting for you. Then they annihilate you, you drop the ball like 90% of the time, or they pick it off, one or the other. And so I think that's a problem.
So they're throwing the ball too late, though.
No, they throw the ball too early, and they just float it. They just float it in the middle.
The quick slant is you hit them like 2 steps after they've, like as soon as they make their break. That's why it works, because if the DB's giving you 10 yards of pressure, you take 2 steps and turn inward and catch the ball, you've got 4-yard gain.
Yeah, but if you play the quick slants on Madden,
well,
you would know that.
I know.
Yeah, you would know that how they work is right when both receivers cross, and it confuses the defense. So right when the 2 receivers cross, it throws the whole defense off. It's like Eric Weddle gets confused in the backfield, and then C.J. Mosley gets confused.
That's how the Madden play works. Sure.
And yeah. But I'm talking about Madden. I'm not talking about a real quick slant route because I see enough of those with the Seahawks and Doug Baldwin catching 2-yard receptions. Love Doug Baldwin. Love the Seahawks. There's problems, though. I have my problems.
If you were to get a new dog, would you name him Dog Baldwin?
No, if I had a dog, Hailey and I already decided that when we do get a dog, it's going to be named Willie Nelson. Full name, Willie Nelson. It's not going to be Willie. It's going to be Willie Nelson.
Ara has banned me from cat naming privileges because I want to name it Koopa Troopa Dumbledore. Like, one cat is Koopa Troopa Dumbledore.
But yeah, so we decided when we do get our, when we invest in a basset hound or some other kind of dog, it's going to definitely be named Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson, it would be a good name for a basset hound.
I think so, because their eyes are all bloodshot. Their eyes are all bloodshot. They're drooping. Love Willie Nelson, but boy, that guy has seen some days. I can't believe he's still on the road. The fact that any of those guys are on the road, it's pretty impressive. You have like the old outlaw style of country music, and Chris Christopherson's 80,
Country outlaw.
He's like 80,
outlaw country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's like 82 or 83, still going out there, playing on the road, going out there night after night, doing shows, and then fucking Willie Nelson's like 87, and he's still playing at Marymore Park.
Smoking too much weed. They must have pickled him.
You know what I will say though is Willie Nelson's son, Luke Nelson, is an incredible musician, and to my credibility on that one, he did write the music to A Star Is Born, and I did enjoy the music to A Star Is Born. I just thought it was funny when Bradley Cooper was hanging in his garage.
Jesus Christ.
But the music in that,
black metal.
the music in that was
videos.
pretty good. And he won a what do you call them?
An Academy Award.
Yeah, that's right. I don't pay attention to award shows. I think they're fucking dumb.
I mean, you're not like a middle-aged woman, so
Yeah.
or in the movie business. So
Yeah.
I don't have a bumper sticker on my car that says I hiked Mount Rainier. I don't watch award shows. I don't do that.
proud
shit.
honor student parent or whatever.
Yeah.
Coexist.
I mean, are there any bumper stickers that aren't lame? Really?
I mean, I had my bumper
There's some
stickers.
pretty funny, like nerdy ones that are not lame. Or that one that says if you can read this, you're too close.
I mean, technically, all bumper stickers are dumb. There's a bumper sticker for everybody out there.
Yeah.
There really is. There's a bumper sticker for both, both political parties, obviously, as you've seen that. Just cars plastered with those.
Dude, I want to get an Iron
I had a
Maiden
car
one.
like that once.
And then there's music. There's like music ones. There's all kinds of shit that you can slap on your car. Sports stuff.
I remember seeing that really corny dragon one that's like that says something like humans taste best with ketchup or something like that. It's fucking hilarious.
I got a pretty good window decal actually. It's I haven't put it in my car. It's a Rocket League reference though.
I had a Seahawks one, and then Hailey had a bunch of Disneyland ones, for like her favorite rides, which is pretty cool because they were just like little white outlines. Then I had the Carhartt one, obviously, and then
We went hog wild when I was like 18. I was driving a purple Geo Metro with a 3-cylinder engine. 3, not 4, 3. It was very hard.
I bet you that thing got 80 something to the gallon.
It was about 50, yeah,
That's
with a
fucking
full
insane.
combustion engine. It had quite a lot of trouble if there was any sort of incline on the freeway or like pulling out of toll booths was always an adventure. I believe the line people would say is, "Oh, my lawnmower has a bigger engine than your car." Anyways, we went a little wild with it, and this was during the Trump 2.0 election, or not the Trump, sorry, Bush. Jesus, Freudian slip. The Bush 2.0 election. We bought a lot of pro John Kerry, anti-Bush bumper stickers, like a lot, like more than fit on the car, like it was all up the hatchback and shit. And the way people would interact with my car, like the number of people who would just like pull up next to me at the freeway and like shake their head at me, or they would leave us notes. Like if you left the car in the parking lot, you'd get a note. It was like, what is wrong with people?
Dude, I see some of those cars, and I see, oh my God, I just see so many dumb fucking bumper stickers. And, I don't really give a shit what political party you go for. I don't give a fuck. But I just don't talk about it in general. And like the fact is if I have to sit behind you in traffic and read all your dumb fucking bumper stickers that, you know, if you hate the man so much, why do you have Trump's name on your car?
Yeah, why are you advertising
50
him?
different times?
Yeah.
It's like, that's a good Trump advertisement.
Free advertisement,
right there.
yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
It's the same problem.
Bumper stickers are awesome in a sense of you need to control them. You need to be controlled.
That's the same problem that
moderation
like, news has with like serial killers and shit, where like
they blast the picture or they blast the pictures of the serial killer and stuff.
They give like a bunch of screen time to all these like criminals and shit.
I say just leave that shit to the internet because the internet's gonna put it up there regardless.
Or like
people
the
want
investigation Discovery Channel.
It's like if people want to figure it out, you know, I think the news should be for the victims. You know,
exactly.
in like a killing or something like that, should be for the victims. But if you really want to find out about the killer, go on the fucking internet. It's gonna be on there. You know,
can either of you explain why women between 25 and 40 are so obsessed with true crime?
That's true. I never understood that.
Like, it's so weird to me.
And it seems like, you know, girls our age, too, are, like, really into their fucking Netflix docu-series about, like, fucking murderers and
when
shit.
we're at ours moms, one of the 3 channels we have on all the time is, like, Investigation Discovery, which is just, like, Dateline reruns over and over.
I mean, it's
again.
just the
that's
new
the whole channel.
It's just the new, like...
It's the new thing.
It's the new thing. Like, before that was, like, detective shows and shit, because, like, I used to
CSI and fucking...
I used to live mainly with my mom, and she would have the TV on like all the time.
Moms love Law and Order,
and so I used to watch all kinds of like detective shows and investigator shows and cop shows and.
Yep, my mom too. My mom loved
bro.
that shit. Now my mom's into like the docu-series of serial killers.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom, this is shit that we learned back when we were like 10, when we first got into the internet. It's like, you know, I mean, you know, all the moms are late. All the moms and these, you know, and these new school, you know, like my age kind of girls that are watching all these documentaries. It's like, dude, shit. Us boys have watched this documentary like 10 years ago. Like when they released the Ted Bundy thing.
Honestly, yeah, the only ones that interest me are the local ones, like the Green River Killer and the Ted.
Yeah,
Bundy.
I agree. But the Ted Bundy one on Netflix was really good.
I didn't watch that one.
Speaking of Ted Bundy, I think I may have said this on the podcast before, but just because it came up again, my fiance's mom was walked to school every day for a while by Ted Bundy.
You did mention that
Yeah,
before.
you did.
On
That's
the
right.
Spooky episode, I think. Because I mentioned how I'm pretty sure he killed somebody in my old apartment.
Yep.
In like Claude's bedroom. Oh, man.
That's insane. Poor Claude.
Yeah.
Rest and rip.
Speaking of Claude, when are we going to have him on the show?
Fuck, man. Speaking of... I'm going to throw a shout out to the people who are coming on the show next. All right?
Yeah.
There needs to be some Claude. Claude's a fucking local legend. And I think Claude's going to be... Claude should
favorite
be...
Romanian, man.
Claude should definitely be part of season 2. And I think Claude's going to jump in here in season 2 because we're going to force him in here.
What, you gonna like tie him down?
Yeah.
I can't talk. I've been gagged.
Then we're going to get Gib, talk about the metal spoon
Like,
incident.
why did he stick a spoon in an outlet?
That's what we got to ask him.
Yep.
And then we're going to get, I don't know, there's somebody else, but I completely forgot.
Well, you said it on the air, so now it has to happen.
Ryan and what's this?
Oh, yeah,
Tall Boys or Brian and Ryan?
Boys, yeah.
The Tall Boys.
Brian and Ryan?
The segment, The Tall Boys, where they can talk about MMA because I don't know fucking dick about MMA.
Yep.
Well, that's going to make for interesting conversation since you'd know nothing and Vito and I don't care. But whatever.
Hey, I like martial arts, so
I like watching people get
most
kicked in the face. Like, I think it's cool, but I don't like watching the wrestling on the ground because I think that the wrestling on the ground is like the easy way out.
It's all about the ground game, though, man.
ground
Don't
game-
tap
I mean,
out.
well,
Don't tap out. You just don't understand it.
There's no lie to that. Is like the ground game is the most dominant part.
It's
if
the most
you can-
homoerotic part, for sure.
I mean, if you can get one of those like mega athletes on the ground and make it so he cannot move at all, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty sexual, but you know, whatever floats their boat.
WrestleMania is this weekend. Anybody excited about that? I think it's today.
Yeah,
Fucking WrestleMania
I like the
rules.
stuff that's more like
The sports entertainment, or
Wrestling is
like
not
the Tony
fake.
Jaa movies and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love martial arts
Fucking
movies.
love that shit.
We talked about that new one coming out. That new one coming out.
Yeah, I'm
and-
fucking excited. I like immediately messaged my mom because I used to watch these movies with her.
Oh, speaking of moms, did either of you call your mom and ask what she got you for the holiday? Because today is Sunday.
Oh, he hit us with a pun. Oh my god. Oh, that was
Zing!
wow. That was funny. By the way, you guys haven't mentioned my hair.
So was
I
that?
know you got the Odell hair going
Oh
on.
yeah.
You've done it before. It's,
But Joe,
Yeah,
real
but
quick,
this is the brightest I've ever gone.
is it?
before we switch subject, was that your mom's pun? Or did she actually call you and like,
no,
make
I
that
called
pun?
her and said, "What did you get me for the holiday?" And
Oh,
she's like,
okay.
"What the fuck are you talking about? What a holiday? Like it's
Okay.
Sunday, mom."
I was about to think like mother like son. And
That would
she
be
just
great.
randomly called you for
if she
Sunday.
sent me like a random gift and was like, "It's Sunday."
yeah.
Man,
Hey, for a quick shout out on my haircut.
Yeah.
I fucking love my haircut. I love my hair. Quick shout out to my lovely girlfriend Hailey, who dyed it,
I think it would be cooler if it was a color though.
who stuck with me. Well, I don't like
I
coloring.
mean, it's dark
I
in
don't
here.
like,
It's hard to
like-
tell how bright it is.
I don't like
Sitting in shadow.
I don't like going like red or purple or anything like that. I just like going bleached. That's about it.
Yeah, I guess I just
Kind
have
of
a
like
thing
my
against
asshole.
blonde hair in
you know,
general.
you don't want to throw any other colors.
Don't
in there
you
except
have
for
blonde
bleach.
hair?
Yeah, I don't like
You
it.
say you bleach your asshole. All right. I'll tell you a story off air about asshole bleaching.
And I'm too lazy to actually get into any like hair things, so I just go all natural.
You gotta just let it grow, man.
And yeah, quick shout out to my barber Casey at Roosters.
Roosters?
Roosters.
Is Casey a dude?
Casey's a dude. He
With a
is
C or a
awesome.
K?
He fucking with a C. He fucking rules, dude. He's the only guy that I've known to be able to cut my hair and to keep it consistent. I've gone barber searching for years since I was a little kid. You know, I've always hated
Yeah.
going and getting my fucking haircut because people fuck my hair up all the time because it's just like a big wad of pubes on top of my head. So people fuck it up. Don't know what to do with it. I go in to an appointment with him and he's just like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Curly hair? No problem. I'm going to try something. And if you don't like this haircut, you know, you can tell me you don't like it and we'll get you a new one." You know, it's like next time you come in, we'll give you a new one. It's like, okay, I'm going to trust you. And we're going to do that just because I had goofy fucking like 8-month long hair. So I'm like,
Yo.
let's just get it cut. Boom. He cut it up, slicked it up. And this was last April. So I've been consistent with one barber for a
Damn.
whole year.
So you have a
No, it's like
stylist
relationship.
Nice.
I'm a stylist, man.
relationship.
It's nice. It's
Back
like
when
I get to pay $50 and I get to go spoil
now.
myself.
$50?
I get to sit down in the chair. He
Damn.
cuts my hair. We have a quick, you know, like chat. He fucking shampoos my shit, conditioner.
Does he give you a head
conditioners my
massage and
shit,
$40 in cash at the end of this fucking thing? Or
throws a hot towel on my face. Man, I'm spoiled there.
Back when I used to get my
they
hair
give you
cut.
beer. They give you drink. Like they give you
Well, that's
Lacroix.
pretty sweet. Oh,
They have a fridge full of fucking Lacroix. I'm like, hey, we're
I haven't
sponsored
paid
by
someone
them.
to
Shout
cut my
out to
hair in
LaCroix.
like 5 years.
Sponsor
man.
us.
And back when I did, I would
$5
always just like get like buzz cuts, which I could literally do myself. So I would find the cheapest place with the cutest girls. Shout out to Rudy's.
Oh, Rudy's? Dude, Rudy's. I fucking hate it.
Again, $8 buzz cut. Cute punk
Well,
girls. That's all I'm saying.
you're doing the buzz cut. I don't do that shit. I grow my hair out for 3 months and then I go and get it nicely cut.
Yeah, I go in after like a year of not getting it cut, and I'm like, can I have it look the same but shorter? And then they do it, and it's great.
And I have it look
the same but shorter.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch Boy Meets World? Because that was always the Boy Meets World joke. Look, I know it's time for a haircut because my hair looks really good. Because as soon as my hair looks really good, it's time for a haircut. Then it looks really weird for 3 weeks, and then it looks good for a day, and it's time for a haircut again.
Yeah, like my hair looks good up until like shoulder length, I feel like.
What
You know,
happens
you
in
should just
shoulder
go
length?
full fucking Monty with your hair. Just grow it out.
Like I look good with long hair, but like especially with work, I just can't even with long hair.
You know what? That I don't blame him.
That's fair.
I don't blame him. I had to go get a haircut because I make sandwiches now, and I
You're finding hair in the sandwich.
fucking hate pulling fucking hairs out of the cutting board that I have
Yeah.
because they just like naturally just fall out. I hate doing that, and I have to do that like 50 times a
And
day.
they don't
so
make
I
you
was
guys
like,
wear
fuck
hairnets back
this.
there, which is crazy. Like, as long as
Yeah.
it's pulled back, it's fine. I'm like, it still falls out, guys. Like,
Well, I'm fine
Yeah,
with that, man.
it's
Fuck
ridiculous.
a hairnet. I'd quit if they made me wear a hairnet or a beard net because I've never had one complaint about people finding my hair. Never, not once.
I mean, I've definitely found hair in the food that's prepared there. Like,
Sure,
I
yeah,
can't
that happens,
place
but
whose it is.
that happens, and now you can't mistake my hair.
That's true.
My hair is fucking.
I don't know. It was like half blonde and
bleached
half
blonde.
black. Oh, that's Christian.
And I come out, yeah,
100%.
it's like, oh, I found a big blonde hair in my sandwich, and I come out of the kitchen holding
Lucas.
more
It's
sandwiches.
Lucas's.
Hey, dears. Dudes, going to Mexico on fucking Friday.
Just the weekend, or when you come back?
It's mainly the weekend, so it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then we come back Tuesday.
So when this episode releases, you'll be in the heart of it.
Baby, you know it. I'll be unconscious.
Unconscious.
You know, Mexico's a
geez.
fantastic place. I'm going to tell you guys this.
Wait, don't we have another episode?
Yeah, this episode will release next Monday.
Yeah.
So not tomorrow. Next Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's probably-
Assuming everything goes according to plan,
To
nothing
Pran.
goes awry.
So, the one thing I have to say is, you know, Mexico's a place of beauty. It really is. It's got its, Mexico City, I absolutely love it. I have a ton of family there, and I love going there to visit the family, and I've never gone to like a
resort.
a resort place of Mexico, like a vacation spot of Mexico.
But see, the only place I've ever been in Mexico is Cozumel. So
Yeah, so it's like, I finally get to experience the vacation part of it, but I've experienced like the inner heart of the shithole of Mexico City, which is amazing. They have a street named Sullivan Street there,
oh, it's your people.
and it's like one city block that allows prostitution. That prostitution is legal. So you can drive down this block and there's like waves of prostitutes like hanging out on the sidewalk.
Just like waves upon waves.
It's insane. Dude, it's insane. It's unreal. But it's Sullivan Street. It's
great.
it's a real hoot and holler to drive down that street.
That reminds me, R and I had to go to Home Depot because I have electrical problems in my house, and I was buying some like voltmeters and outlet testers, and we drove past. I think it was like a Tim Hortons or like a Krispy Kreme, and I was like, "Are those prostitutes right there?" I think those are prostitutes. And I look over, and it's two definitely like drugged out women in short skirts. I'm like, "Well."
Oh, you're talking about Krispy Kremes and Jack in the Box?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm like,
Dude,
why
that's
are they in front of the Jack in the
Oh,
Box?
yeah.
Or sorry, yeah, that was my point. I'm like, why are they standing in front of the Krispy Kreme? There's a Jack in the
yeah.
Box right there.
Fuck yeah. Dude, every time we go and we visit my dad, he lives in, Green Lake area, but we take Hailey and I take 99 home every time because we just want to see who's walking the strip. We
You
wanna
just
see who's
really
out there.
love like car body shops and strip clubs.
Well, we just love seeing the people who are out on 99 at like 7 p.m. on like a Tuesday. We just love seeing that shit because it's like you got your girls, and then you got your shopping cart bums, and then you got your fucking tweakers and junkies who are like hanging out by a trash can, and then you got the people by Home Depot who are laying down in bushes and shit. You get the best of both worlds, or the best of all the worlds.
Best of both.
And so one day we were driving, we were going up fucking 99 over there by Krispy Kreme. Actually right out front of Krispy Kreme. We were like, fuck, there's nobody walking. There's no entertainment on 99. I can't believe it.
No entertainment.
So we pass Home Depot, and that's like usually the point where it's like, okay, we got one little strip from Home Depot to 125th to like give us our entertainment, or to 130th or whatever it is to give us our entertainment. Boom, we pull up at the stoplight by that little 125th Street diner and Krispy Kreme and 76 right across the street. Right out front of the Rapid Ride bus, two dudes are like beating the shit out of each other. Like two bums. And the bus is like just waiting there with its doors open. Like, well, it's probably just going to take the winner of this fight.
That part
Like, whoever wins this fight gets to hop on this bus. And then we watch that. The light turns green. We start driving. And then 1 block later, there's a car with two police cars hanging out front of it because somebody got busted with a prostitute in the car. Fucking love Aurora, dude.
Oh man, I was going to that Home Depot with my friend Katie shout out to Katie Plasky, but I'm about to make fun of you. We pulled in, and there's always like 36 day laborers just waiting around that Home Depot.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, "Why are all those people just like hanging around?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "All those people in front of the Home Depot. What are they doing?" I'm like, "They're looking for work." And she's like, "But the Home Depot's hiring. Why don't they just go get a job there?" And I'm like, "No. They're illegals, Katie." Like,
no, I thought it was so funny because my whole life I thought, like every single one of those dudes out there is looking for work. So I'm like, shit, that's sad. All those guys are illegals and they're all looking for work there on the corner in the rain and shit. Then I got a job at Home Depot. Then I worked at Home Depot for 2.5 fucking years.
was it that one?
That on Aurora.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know you worked at that Home Depot.
I worked at the Home Depot
They're
on Aurora
hiring right now.
for 2 fucking years. And I was just like, I got the job there, and within 2 or 3 days, I realized why a lot of those guys don't get picked up. Because if you don't pick any of them up by 8 a.m., they're blacked out drunk. By
Really?
8:30, 8:45, they're blacked out
In the
drunk.
morning?
Yep. Dead serious. And that's a good, 90% of them.
That
There's
explains why I went
there's-
over there at 7 p.m. and there were still 20 of them there. Like,
Yeah.
is it a little late for day labor?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. They hang out there all fucking day, and they get drunk. They fucking throw up. They come into Metmar, or not Metmar. The worst part about our bathrooms at Home Depot were they were public. And, those guys and the tweakers and the junkies would come in and use our bathroom. And the tweakers and the junkies would shoot up in our stalls and shoot their blood on the door from their syringes. And then the day laborers would go in there and fucking jack off all day long and then blow our toilets up. There'd be times where I'd be taking a shit and then 2 stalls next to me is some dude beating his meat. I'm like, fuck! I'm like, what the fuck is going on over here?
Yeah, that's crazy.
The amount of people my manager had to kick out of that store was unreal. And I actually saw my manager. I love my Home Depot manager. That guy was fucking awesome. And, he trusted me and the other guy who worked outside to kind of corral these, these junkies, tweakers, and the day laborers out of our store and or our coffee bar section.
There's a coffee bar there?
Well, they have free coffee for the contractors.
Oh, okay.
And so
that store is fucking enormous.
that store's huge.
Yeah.
And so one day, some guy rides his bike into the store. He's shirtless. He's
Like
shoeless.
a bicycle or a motorcycle?
Bicycle.
Okay.
Shirtless, shoeless,
Did he
riding
get
his bike
service?
through the fucking store, just yelling. Dude, my boss fucking corralled this guy. Golden corralled this dude. Fucking annihilated him on his bike. Then they got into a yelling altercation all throughout the store, went out into the garden section, and they were yelling at each other in the garden section, and this guy tipped over 2 planters, made a whole big mess, and then, the other managers, paged us on the radio, we had our little walkie-talkies, they're like, you guys, throw your vests somewhere and get over to the garden section now. I'm like, whoa! Throw our fucking vests off? I'm like, are we about to fuck somebody up? So we run over to the garden
hit
section,
squad,
which
man.
from where we worked to the garden was the complete opposite side of the store. So we just fucking haul ass across Home Depot, vestless, and we're just running through customers trying to get to the garden section. We get out there and this dude's just he's covered in cuts, dude. And my manager at Home Depot was a big dude. He he wasn't a fat dude. He was he was huge. And so he hadn't touched this guy yet except for knocking him off of his bike. And he was carrying the dude's bike. And they get out of the garden section and my manager throws his bike into the street. And the guy starts talking shit to my manager. My manager was like, get the fuck out of here before I really fuck you up. And as my boss turns around, this guy runs up and shoves my boss from the back. My boss turns around and grapples this dude's legs, picks him up, and throws him into the ground.
Damn.
Calls the police. And we were all, we were hooting and hollering, dude. We were yelling. We were like, yeah! Yeah! Fucking, dude, my buddy went and threw the bike even further. I was like, oh my God, this is a party. And this was at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. So there
were
are
like,
customers around?
Oh, hell yeah, there were customers around. We didn't care, man. We had to do what we needed to do to keep our bathrooms clean. Or to keep our bathrooms clean or to keep our store junk free. And
That's crazy.
it's crazy, man.
Did you ever see one of those junkies or crazy drunk Mexicans poop in like a show bathroom? Like, did that ever happen?
In a show bathroon?
Yeah,
No,
because you
no,
guys
no,
have
no.
like toilets out
No,
on the floor.
that never happened.
Okay.
But they did poop like on the building in the back, and then
What?
they would they would fuck behind the building. They would
like
poop.
each other?
Oh yeah. Oh well, yeah. A lot of them. Like they did a lot of dick sucking back there. So there was a lot of dick sucking. There was a lot of prostitution in the back. There was a lot of shooting up. Tons of shooting up, and then a lot of shit. There was a lot of shit behind that building.
So they'd fuck in their own shit?
Essentially,
Don't shit where you fuck.
don't shit where
Everybody
you
knows
fuck.
that.
Yep. And that's what those
Jesus.
guys were doing.
That's pretty
And-
bad. I said, the other spot that's really bad. So the place I work at is literally above the University Street station, and I have like an hour to kill. So I'm like, maybe I'll just like walk around and like grab like a French fries or something. So I walked down to the McDonald's on 3rd and Pike. Oh my God. First of all, it was 5:00. It was the middle of rush hour. And there's just like, I swear to God, 40 people just standing around in the street out in the middle of downtown Seattle, dealing drugs and like shooting up heroin. I literally saw a guy not even trying to hide it. And I'm like, I'm just trying to walk on the fucking sidewalk, guys. It's called the sidewalk. It's not called the side hang around and do drugs. Like, get the fuck out of the way.
Well, there's no regulation for it now, It's like they can do whatever the fuck they want.
But it's like the heart of downtown Seattle. But like they outnumber the business people. Like
Yeah,
20%
they
of
do.
the people are
Oh,
like
yeah.
people like who actually are like in their suits and their fancy dresses, like going to and from work. And most of them are just like these crazy fucking drugged out homeless people. Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, did I tell you about the time that we actually saw somebody die in the parking lot at Home Depot?
No.
Yeah, this is like the craziest fucking thing ever. So get this. So this was like a year and a half after I had started working there. It was like Thanksgiving. So it was like probably 5 days before Thanksgiving or something like that. Maybe like 3 days before. It was like probably like 11 a.m. and I'm training a new guy. And this new guy that I was training could barely walk. He was like the biggest dude I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, I just was like walking around with him. He's complaining the whole day. And then he's like, oh, I'm really bored. I'm like, well, we got work to do, so let's do some work. Let's go out there and corral some carts and fucking bring them in. Word of the day is corral, because I've noticed that I've said that like probably 50 times. Anyway, so we get the carts and we're rounding shit up and we're helping customers out. It's around like 3 o'clock now. And there's a frozen turkey over there on the corner by like where all the day laborers are.
Okay.
And there's just like one frozen turkey from like Albertsons.
Just like on the sidewalk?
On the sidewalk, just
Or
hanging out.
in the bushes or whatever? 'Cause
Some
there's no
dude
sidewalk
goes
there.
up and grabs a turkey, starts walking off. 20-person brawl just breaks out over this turkey. And we're like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on? And so we're watching this fight because, of course, why wouldn't you? We're 50 feet away from it.
You like go to the lawn furniture, crack a chair open.
Dude, all of a sudden, we see this dude stumbling into the parking lot, fucking holding around his like head or neck area, falls down, hits his head on the curb,
Jesus.
and then just lays there. I'm like, uh-oh. Cops are being called from customers.
Of course.
And this is like, holy shit. I don't know if that guy just passed out or if he's fucking dead. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. Another dude that was over there was holding his fucking nose. His nose was cut with like an exact,
Oh my God.
with like a box cutter knife, like right at the top. And it was like flipped over and he took off. He went running. So
Like with
he's
his
like,
nose in
his
his
fucking
hand?
nose is hanging off his head and he's running away. This guy's still laying in the parking lot. The police show up. Tons of police. They even brought in a ghetto bird, dude. They brought in a helicopter and everything.
What?
Yep, brought in a helicopter. An ambulance showed up. Police showed up.
It's like a 20-person brawl and probably one death and a mutilation. I mean, that's
Yeah,
pretty
and so they
epic.
caught the dude. They caught the dude with the knife, or with the nose. Pardon me. And it turned out that he was the guy who actually originally pulled the knife out, got the other guy in the neck. The guy who got cut in the neck took one swing at him with the knife that was stuck in his neck, cut his nose, and the guy went unconscious in our parking lot. Now I don't know if this guy's alive or dead who was in the parking lot.
Then
but
throat cut
they
guy?
they hauled him off.
Jesus.
And they hauled him off, and that was the last I heard of him. But the police did come over and like talk to us about what happened, and they were trying to get word on how it started. And I was like, I was there with my manager. I was like, it was a frozen turkey. I was like, one of the dudes was walking away with a frozen turkey, and they got into a huge brawl. Eventually, some dude picked up the turkey and took off, and that was it. But it was like the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen. And the guy who we hired, he quit.
Like that day?
No, he quit.
I would.
That
That's
day.
fucking
I'm
crazy.
like, this is why I work here.
Yeah.
I'm like, because this shit's
Like, this is the best part.
Yeah, because
How
we usually
often would stuff like that happen?
well, they get into fights every day. There was a
Jesus.
big fight every day, but that was a one time thing. I had never seen anybody like get that severely hurt. And I've told that story to all my pals and friends. I can't believe this is the first time I told it on the
That's
podcast.
crazy.
But it's
Yeah.
like that shit was real, and that happened. And we'd be normal, or it was normal to go out into the parking lot because a customer would come up to us and be like, "Oh, there's somebody laying down in the parking lot in the back. Can you guys like go check on him?" We go check on him. He's covered in puke. It's like, he's just drunk. We had a lot of that. A lot of dudes puking on themselves and shit.
I mean, that's like legit.
That's-
Way better than like MetMart customers like, she has a dog in here. You're not supposed to have dogs in here. I don't fucking care.
Dude, the customer complaints from Met Market. Oh my god. I was coming out of the office once. This old lady opens up the bathroom door and she looks at me, and I'm in a chef coat. She looks at me and she goes, "Excuse me, this bathroom needs attention." I just looked at her and I said, "Right?" I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, unless there's somebody shooting up, dead, or jacking off in these bathrooms, I don't give a fuck about your complaint. Because our bathrooms at MetMart are fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that there's like two pieces of toilet paper on the ground. It's like, oh, big fucking deal. Like, don't touch them if you're that concerned.
Yeah.
Except
it's
people
like-
do shoot up in them all the time because they're open 24 hours.
People do shoot up in them all the time, but not at noon.
Have you
They usually come in later in the afternoon.
Vito, have you ever seen a dead body? I ever tell you guys about the time that I'm 90% sure I saw someone die?
Y'all want to see a dead body?
I was on an airplane, and they made an announcement, like, real quiet, like, "Hey, is anyone a doctor on board? Is there a doctor on board at all?" And then no response. And then, like, as we're like, "Okay, we have a medical emergency up front, so everyone just hang tight for a while." And then I was, like, poking my head out, and, like, in, like, the first row of coach, they wheeled this guy out in, like, a gurney with a sheet over him, like a fucking dead body. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that guy died on this flight because he was, like, 100 years old.
Damn.
And they just couldn't wake him.
Yeah, I don't think
He's
I've
been
seen
sleeping.
a dead
He's been
body.
sleeping for a while.
He's kind of started, I think he pooped himself.
Oh,
That's what happens.
I know that, man. Gross.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a dead body, but I also don't have very good memory. So
That's
like,
true. The Vito goldfish
especially-
brain is well known.
especially in like my early childhood, I probably could have seen one and just not like remembered because like I used to live near the boardwalk in LA.
It's like the thing
Ooh,
is
yeah,
that
that's pretty sketchy too.
that
yeah,
stuff
kinda
just
like-
it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like
Dead
I don't know if
bodies.
it. I mean, it may bother. It bothers a lot of people,
Yeah, it does.
but I'm far from being bothered by a corpse. Which sounds weird. There are things that really fucking bother me. The smell alone is what really
Of dead
really
people?
fucking bothers me. Well, there was a dude who died above my aunt's apartment, and he was like an older guy. He died on his
he lived
floor.
alone. So he
Lived
probably
alone. Family didn't give a
took
fuck about
while,
him.
Yeah.
Found him. I think it was like 3.5 weeks later.
Did he have pets?
No.
Okay.
No,
so
no.
he wasn't like half eaten.
No, just because I mean they found him like that just because
Someone
the
complained of the
apartment
smell, yeah.
was so fucking rancid.
I bet.
And it was only on the second floor. So like the bottom floor didn't have any bad smell, but it was the second floor. And so my aunt was like, "Oh yeah, you can go up there and actually smell it." So I was like, "Sure." So I ran up there, opened up the door to the hallway in the second floor, immediately felt like I was going to throw up. And that smell has not left my memory ever since. So I know the smell of it, and it's spooky. Very spooky. It's like it's a scary smell. But
Yeah.
the sight of Sight of a dead body doesn't bother me. That shit doesn't bug me none.
I think you're desensitized to it because you've lived in a city for so long, you know? Like, I remember I was at the Ballard Safeway at like 10 p.m. once, and as I'm walking in the door, the police are arresting a guy, so they like have his face against the curb with their knee on his back, and then there's like another guy who's just profusely bleeding out of his face. So I just like walk around them and go to the grocery store, and I'm like, if this happened in like my mom's town, it would dominate the news cycle for 3 weeks.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
this
dude,
is just
shit
like everyday
that.
shit. You
Dude,
know?
the violence here, like, let alone just in this neighborhood, the violence in this neighborhood is just outrageous. Like, I mean, obviously, fucking 2 weeks ago, some dude just went on a shooting spree for no fucking reason.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just like, dude, it's like, I'm so desensitized to it just because of everything I've seen
That's a month
up.
ago for the listeners.
Thanks, Vito. The
Timeline
over there, yeah.
But, so, there's one thing I want to talk to you guys about. Or there's a few things I want to talk to you guys about. I saw Michael Buble last night.
Bubbly.
Yeah.
And this is somebody that, you know, I bought the tickets for Hailey for Christmas. And I don't really know too much of his music. I know that he's covered a lot of songs, but I don't know too much.
He's like romantic bathtub music.
Romantic. That's
Yes.
a good way to put it. Did he do any of his Christmas songs? Because I know you said you wanted to hear him do Christmas music, even though it's April.
He didn't do any of his Christmas songs, but he did mention Christmas, and that was enough for me. He said that Seattle took part in like starting Christmas because of the Christmas music scene that started here in Seattle. So I was like, well, that was cool. He had a lot of history on Seattle. I didn't know he was from Vancouver, BC, and I didn't know that he was actually like coming here all the time when he was a children and like spending his time in Seattle or Tacoma or whatever the fuck.
Tacoma.
And well, he said that when he was a kid, they always went to Tacoma and fucking ate Chinese food and shit and like shopped. So I'm like, well, that's cool. But the one thing I have to say is like,
it's just weird.
not only was he a terrific like live singer, he had a big orchestra behind him, and the orchestra was awesome. And I mean, it was just a great show. And he acknowledged the fans. It was actually his biggest. It was his largest crowd he's ever had.
Wow.
In the States.
Really?
Yep.
That's random.
18,000 plus.
Where was
the
it?
largest
What was the venue?
Tacoma Dome.
Oh, that's why.
18,000 plus was the biggest venue he's ever performed for in the States. But he's done more obviously in Europe and shit. But he has been gone. He's been out of the music scene for kind of a long time. And that was because, you know, his kid had cancer or some shit. So he was gone for a while. Didn't know if he was going to come back. But dude, it was like a really emotional concert. He really connected with the fans. I thought it was incredible. I really thought it was incredible. I didn't expect it. I thought he was going to come out, be like, hey, I'm Michael Buble. I'm going to sing my songs and fucking bounce. But no, he'd sing like 2 songs. He'd stop, talk to the audience. He'd interact with the people who were in the little pit area. He'd like take their phone and take pictures with them and like, or take pictures with their phone, and he'd sign people's like big fucking signs. And he says, the reason why I'm signing all these signs is because the people behind you think that you guys are assholes because you have these big signs. That is awesome. But he was really cool. And, you know, like I said.
Yes, holding a giant sign does make you an asshole.
He really connected with the audience well, and he made it like a personal show. He actually made it feel like he gave a fuck about what he was doing. And it was nice to see that. Because I'm sure a lot of musicians do obviously give a fuck, but they just sometimes they can't express it in the right way besides playing their music. But he was able to do their music, and then he was able to tell the audience about how much he appreciates everybody. And like I said, all bands do this, but for some reason he just like went the extra mile to do that, and it was a terrific show. I mean, I have to say that if he goes back on tour, I'd highly recommend people to go and check it out and see it and enjoy it. Because it's romantic, it's nice. I had a dude who was sitting in front of me who had salami breath, and it really fucking killed my
Was he
buzz.
like breathing at you?
Oh, every time he would like talk to his wife or like talk to somebody or like cheer, I could smell his salami breath, and it was fucking rancid. We were watching March Madness like 5 minutes before the concert started because MSU was losing to Texas
So this was
Tech.
literally last night.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we were watching that on this guy's phone, and he'd look back at me and be like, "Did you guys see that?" Because there was like another dude behind me who was watching this guy's phone, and I was watching this guy's phone. Hailey was watching this. We were all watching this, and this dude would look back and be like, Did you guys just see that?" And his salami breath. Oh, fucking God.
Did you see the end of the Virginia Auburn game, by the way?
I heard about it, man.
Crazy.
Once Duke got eliminated from the tournament, I got so angry.
I only watched like half of the end of that game. I'm rooting for Virginia now, but I don't know why people are up in arms. So it's clearly a foul. He like collided with the guy in midair. Like, they're gonna call that every time.
They're up in arms. It's a textbook foul. They're up in arms about it because the Virginia guy double dribbled.
Yeah, but that was like an awkward double dribble too. Like I probably like.
Hey
he
man,
barely
double dribble is
touched
a
it
double
with both
dribble.
hands. Yeah, but like
a foul is a foul.
If that game's gonna be lost on an awkward double dribble where he accidentally kicks the ball out of his own hands and then barely touches it with both hands, like that would be way worse than losing because he hit 3 consecutive free throws. All right, like I'm sorry.
Well, the dude's 80% from the free throw line. There was no way he was gonna miss any of those fucking things.
And he wasn't gonna hit that shot, so just don't jump at him, like because he wasn't even close.
Yeah, was he even set up or anything like that?
I mean, it was a catch and shoot for sure, but he was in the corner. He was definitely aiming to get fouled, but. Again, the guy leapt at him and collided with him in midair. They're going to call that every time.
Bad move. Yeah, they will. They'll get you every time for that. And I'm happy MSU lost because they took Duke out of the tournament. Fuck them. Because they made a lucky fucking 3-point shot from the top of the key.
I mean, Duke's luck had to run out eventually after that ridiculous, like, somehow you missed the second free throw, but you managed to tip it in.
I don't know how
Duke
was squeezing past players.
That's what I'm saying.
The fact that Zion hasn't announced that he's going to the draft yet gives me a little bit of hope.
Well, no way.
gives me a 1%. 1%
He's going to be drafted
of hope.
by the Knicks and then immediately traded to the Pelicans. Just watch.
And
just watch.
I wish the best for him. I loved watching Zion play this year, and that dude is just a freak. And being able to, I'll actually probably start watching the NBA when he goes to it, just because I want to be able to see, like I want to see his journey in the NBA, man. I want to see that guy.
It's almost playoff time, yo.
It's almost playoff time, and you know what else is almost in playoff time?
The NHL.
Yep, April 10th. It starts.
That's like soon. That's like Tuesday.
That's Tuesday. Yep.
Damn.
It's a good looking tournament. The Blackhawks missed it this year.
So did the Rangers.
And because they just couldn't fucking seal any wins near the end of the season. In the beginning of the season, they couldn't do shit. But then in the end of the season, they sort of clicked. But then they didn't do shit just like last year, so fucking sucks. Anyway, pardon me.
Burp.
It's going to be a fun playoff. It's going to be fun playoffs. I can't wait. I'm going for the Capitals again because Ovechkin's the fucking shit. Love me some Ovechkin.
How do you feel about Sidney Crosby?
I hate Sidney Crosby.
Nah,
He's fucking annoying.
He's a pretty boy.
He's a pretty boy.
Well, so you said you had something else to talk about? We're almost an hour.
Yeah, dude. I was bummed that you guys left last week because right when you guys took off, my brother introduced us to a new game.
Okay.
My brother, of all people, was like, we need to buy this game, SAP. So we fucking bought the game. It's a game called it's a thing called Jackbox games.
Okay.
So do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Sort of like the future of board games. Dude, it's not the future of board games in a sense of like regular style board games, but I'm talking like apples to apples or Pictionary or trivia. It's the future of those kinds of games. But and fuck, dude, it's so much fun. We downloaded 2 packs. So
How much?
It's $25 a pack, and you get.
Yeah. I mean, they're on sale all the time. But.
And you get about 5 games in each pack. So it's
I always look at
it's
them.
about $5
I never have people over to play, and like that one has the like smartphone integration, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and like our smartphone is 1,000 years old, so it can't actually integrate with anything. So
you can use your laptop or your your tablet or anything that can connect to the internet.
I see
that you can type or do anything. But it's awesome because I feel like it's one of those games that's never going to get old because the questions update. answers are always different because you play with different people.
Well, yeah,
and
it's
you
just
know,
the
we
nature
had
of-
some of the, like, I mean, Mark was there, Hailey was there, Ramon was there. We were all hanging out playing, and you know, it was like a full family / friends like hangout. Like after the podcast, it was like we sat there and we played this game for maybe 5 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, we fucking love this game,
That's
and
crazy.
it was a lot of fun, man. My mom and her
Mike?
fiance Mike really liked it, and so we're thinking about getting more of the packs. Like,
Oh, damn.
you know, maybe
Doesn't
not.
each pack have like 5 games in it though?
Yeah, it's like
Damn.
five games a pack, and it's $25. Maybe when they go on sale, we'll just buy the rest of
they're
them.
on sale all
They
the time.
just released the fifth one, the
Oh,
fifth
yeah?
pack. Yeah, but dude, it's a lot of fun.
We should
And
put it
I-
on the show.
Vito mentioned that idea, and once we figure out the camera situation, look, if anybody is good with a camera that can help the boys out,
Give
this
us
is
the
your
hoot.
calling, because we need some tips, we need some help. I don't know what the fuck we're doing, and we have a video camera that's ready to go, 4K compatibility, and we can't use it.
Well, I want to figure out, and we can talk about this off air, but like actual capture, you know, I don't want
Right.
to like
Yeah.
record our screen.
Right,
for
game
playing
capture.
games and
I
stuff.
feel it, but that's gonna be too hard of a game to game capture. I feel like you have to just set up a
we-
camera and
it'll be fine.
hoot and holler and laugh at the answers, because one of my answers was it was like, what would make the Eiffel Tower even better than it is now? And I said foreskin, and it was a unanimous winner. Everybody picked
A
it.
unanimous winner. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
the
yeah,
answers
those
there.
always
The
look fun.
obviously you can go with your more serious answers, like my mom was doing in the beginning, and then eventually she was just putting things like penis or like ball sack, and so it's like, okay, mom, you're starting to get the idea, but it's still you're still miles behind because we're out there throwing like phimosis and fucking foreskin,
Jesus. I mean, you've played
boofing whipped cream on aisle 4, all that good shit. And then, oh god, some of the answers that you know, some of the girls that would answer, like Hailey, and then my brother's fiance, and then Ramon's girlfriend, they'd put up fucking answers that I thought were like Mark, my brother, or myself. Their answers were fucking hilarious. It's a fun game for everybody. I loved it, man. I you know, can't recommend it enough if you like to have people over and you like to have like an interactive like party game. You know, you throw back a couple of drinks and hang out, play that game on a Saturday night. Good times.
You've played Say Anything at my house, right? You're familiar with Say
Yes.
Anything, the board game? Are you, Vito?
No.
It's like apples to apples, but you have like a whiteboard so you can write whatever the
Oh
fuck
yeah,
you
I
want.
played that at the party.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. So we threw a party one time, and the question was, what's the hardest thing to sell door to door? And someone wrote, use child-size anal beads, and then that became a meme. So anal beads was pretty much at least one answer for every question from there going forward.
Anal beads were in there a lot.
Yeah.
We had a lot of anal beads in there.
Speaking of anal beads,
You got something you got to go take out?
no.
Speaking of my anal beads.
But more accurately, speaking of garbage and bullshit, fucking the Epic Store. You guys heard about that?
What about it?
So they have like a really good ratio for profit for the developers.
Yeah.
But they have a bunch of fucking exclusives, and they're fucking sniping all of the like fan favorite stuff.
Wah. Get out of here with your crybaby. I love Steam. Wah. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked.
Well, no. The thing is, it's a platform exclusive that doesn't have a platform.
It's not
like a PlayStation exclusive or an Xbox exclusive.
But the whole idea of a PlayStation and Xbox exclusive is just as stupid as the whole idea of a Steam or Xbox or a Steam.
Well, yeah, but at least
because
it's
they're
like
essentially the
selling
same hardware
system,
underneath.
right?
Huh?
Well, they're trying to sell the system at that point. Like at this point, it's literally they're just trying to get people onto their store, and they have a really shitty store. They should have at least launched with a decent app.
I'm fine with it. I think I think the PC gamers who are whining about this need to chill the fuck out. And like all the review bombing and the like boycott, like guys, get a life. Like get over it. Like This is just the way that exclusive deals have worked forever. There was no reason those Tomb Raider games needed to be Microsoft exclusive. They weren't even developed internally. They just paid Squaresoft a lot of money to make them an exclusive. It's the same fucking thing. It's just awkward because there was one unified system for so long that PC gamers are expecting it to be that way forever.
Well, no, and then there's also like things that have been like kickstarted where they actually had to like.
So yeah,
So they like literally lied to their customers about how they were going.
that
to sell
kind
it.
of stuff is really shady, especially when
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you'll get your Kickstarter version in a year when it's released on Steam.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's hella shady.
That's
but like,
really shady.
like
yeah.
Metro Last Exodus or whatever that other game was. That was like the other big one that was
Yeah.
Epic Store exclusive.
And
like,
now,
like EA refused to put their stuff on Steam forever because they wanted you to use Origin.
Yep.
Like it's just the way it is, you know.
well, we complained about that too, and look
Yeah.
how Origin turned out. Nobody fucking likes it.
Origin sucks.
And but yeah, and now they have Borderlands 3 coming out.
That was the
exclusively
one.
on the Epic Store.
Are you excited for Borderlands 3?
I
Yeah,
never
that's
was
kinda how
really
I
into
feel.
the Borderlands series in general.
Really?
'Cause I'm just not into shooters.
I didn't like
So
I didn't
nice
like
shooter.
Borderlands. I
I
just
like
didn't
I
enjoy
like
it.
Borderlands
the, I
2 a
like the
lot.
character of of Borderlands, and like I played it at friends' houses sometimes.
Yeah.
But I just
It's a great, like,
I'm just
co-op.
not a shooter person, so
It just feels like they forgot about like that like Destiny exists and that the looter shooter has moved beyond Borderlands. Like the game looks like it's stuck in 2012.
I feel
it
like-
really needs to be updated.
I feel
Speaking
like
of
I
shooters-
do, however, feel like Borderlands-esque gameplay is just straight up better than
yeah, but till they were
live
locking
service shooters.
Borderlands 3 locks character classes to an archetype. Like you have no customization of your characters, which is a terrible idea.
Yeah, but at least it has
In a looter
actual
shooter.
like content, like the loot shooters.
Well, I don't know. I hear the Division 2 is pretty cool.
Oh well, yeah. Okay.
I do hear
but
good
that's, like,
things
the
about
first
that,
one.
and I think
That's
that
actually been good.
Destiny 2 is pretty good.
Well, yeah, but it took them like 2 years, and you have
I
to spend
know,
150
I
bucks
know.
on
We
it.
all know that the Division is going to come out with a big sale here soon, and so
I don't know.
It's
It's selling pretty well, man.
yeah, but they'll eventually have to throw it.
Eventually, but
It's just
I
like
don't know
it's
if it'll
just
be any
like
soon though.
it's just like Far Cry. You know, Far Cry 5
Bought it
was
for $20. Oh, for until you meant new
Far
one.
Cry 5 was out for like 2 months, regular price. Boom, they dropped it down to it was like $60 for the ultra mega bunker busting
Bunker
fucking
bust.
suck your ball sack. You know, all that good, that whole pack, the big one.
Did
like
you play the Far
$100
Cry 5 DLC at all?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I went through it
Thought
really
about
quick. The
picking it up
zombie
when
one
it
was
was on.
terrible. The one that I spent a lot of my time on when I beat the game was arcade.
See, I didn't like Far
And
Cry
I'll still go into arcade and play it just because I like the maps that people make that are like escape maps.
Yeah, that's why I hate it, because UGC is never that good. Like user-generated content for those non-gamers. Talking to you, Mom.
well, that's
But-
actually false. Like, there's an entire genre that came out of user-generated content.
Yeah.
in Warcraft 3
Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Like, I mean,
Okay,
there's
let
a
me
lot of like
rephrase that.
and tower defense.
You mean Dota. Tower defense wasn't it was a genre that existed.
Was it?
I love
Yeah.
those.
Well, because I thought it came out of Warcraft 3 as well.
No, there were old Flash game tower defense games.
Yeah, but I
that
thought
came way
the
before
Warcraft
that.
3 stuff came first.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want to talk out my ass on this one.
Yeah.
But let me rephrase that. Generally speaking, the problem I have with UGC is that the curation tools are never good enough, and most people aren't as good at game development as professional game developers. So the vast majority is going to be garbage.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah, but then
they
you
give
still
you
get like 5 or 6 different types of gameplay.
they
that
give you a
are,
whole bunch of different.
actually good.
There's and
they
you can
wouldn't
also
have
go by
developed
top
otherwise.
rated. If you go by the
Yeah, but,
top rated
like-
search, you get the top rated fucking custom made games that are
Sure.
actually really nice. And then
Sure.
if you really feel
But a
being
lot of times-
squirrely and going for double XP, you can play like the non top rated. You get double XP for playing
They're
non top
making.
rated.
Oh, really?
They're making a fucking. God, what's that? Blizzard RTS science fiction.
StarCraft?
StarCraft. Yeah, I was just blanking on the name because
God, you really do have a goldfish brain.
Yeah.
You literally said Warcraft like 4 minutes ago.
Yeah. Yeah, in StarCraft 2, they're actually making a user-generated MMO in StarCraft. inside the
man,
engine.
I just like in like Little Big Planet, all like even the top rated levels, they were all just like trophy farming. Like, all right, this one will get you to 20,000 points in 10 seconds. Just stand here and let these point orbs fall on you. Like, this isn't fun. This isn't good content.
Well,
like,
yeah, but like I like the idea of user generated stuff because of the like 5 to 10 games that will come out of it.
sure.
You know.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I agree.
Because
there are
may
some
as well give them an outlet.
Because there were some arcade like maps that I played that took me like 30 minutes to get out of because they were so like, I mean, there was so much going on. There was they were so big, and there's so much freedom in that create your own map that these people really like were able to just kind of go outside of the box. And you know, it's like you start off in a maze, then you got to go into like this big old fight and like a gunfight in like a little town, and then you got to climb a fucking cliff. When you climb the cliff, you jump down into like a big ice maze that's got like more fucking
See, that was not my
bad guys.
experience with
That's
Far Cry
my
Arcade.
experience, man. Is I just went top rated and that shit fucking ruled.
But you guys know me. Like, if I play a game, I play it hard and I play it like at launch and I zoom through all the content. Like, I think I finished every quest
Yeah, I
in
do
The Witcher
that
3,
too.
which
Yeah.
is absurd.
I'm like a
but
I'm
like
a marinade gamer, you know.
I feel like if you want to have a robust UGC system, it needs to be populated with good stuff from the start. Like, you need your team to build at least 15 to 20 levels in there that are high quality, so that like if I go in there and it's just barren, it was fucking barren when I was using Far Cry Arcade. Like, there was nothing worth doing in there because I tried because
Well,
I wanted
you know,
to get
just-
the platinum trophy,
just
and I
wait,
gave up.
Just wait like 2 or 3 months and then
Yeah, but
and then buy it.
I'm like 4 games away if 2 or 3 months from now, man.
So
Right.
Haley did say that she'd play the Kingdom Hearts game.
Which
so
one?
Maybe when
Which
it goes
one?
on
Which
sale,
one?
the newest one.
3? I haven't even played. I'm not there yet.
So I mean, she'd play it. So I'm thinking about getting that when it's on
I
sale.
really
so
need
she
to
can
get
play
that
something.
when it's on sale. Yeah.
And I just got
You guys should have pre-ordered the fucking Mega Edition.
I just downloaded.
No, I just want the regular game.
You
I
don't want
play
all
anything.
10.
I want a sale that will save me money, not save me money on a bunch of shit overall.
I just got a Star Wars Battlefront 2
I saw that.
downloaded
Is that
from
the-
the
the
original
newer one?
Xbox. No.
I thought
from the original.
See, I
It's
thought
the original.
when you posted, the best game
So
of
I
all
thought it was
time, I
the
thought
new
you were
one too,
being
and I was like,
sarcastic.
what?
I'm like, is he serious?
no.
People hate this game.
People hate
Fuck
this
no,
game,
that's
yeah.
Battlefront, dude. That's Battlefront 2
But the original
on the
one,
original.
yeah.
Dude,
Oh.
I spent so many hours, and I downloaded it Friday night, and I played the shit out of it yesterday. Oh god, I fucking
Yeah, I
loved
used
it.
to play the shit out of that game, and I used to like glitch myself into walls and like kill people.
I've never been into those big.
It was like the only game I
Shooters.
had. At the time.
I'm a video
That's
game.
why.
Yeah.
I'm like a. I like to marinate my video games.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like I'll buy the premium platinum version of Red Dead Redemption, but I won't finish it for like a year because
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
know.
I'm gonna
Get
play. I'm gonna play a little bit of this for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go back to a game that I've played 3 million times back in, when I was 10.
Yeah, I like to like just fucking soak in a video game or like dive right in and just like barrel through everything and like.
I
that's
can't
my
do that.
style.
I
There's
can't
too many
do it.
games to play to let it to take 8 months on.
But for
one.
me, it's more like I just want to play the one game until I'm just out of stuff to do.
Right.
I'm kind of that way too. It depends on the game.
Yeah.
But then I always have like
like,
Rocket League or
I
NBA
never
2K to
had
fall
lots
back
of
on.
game money when I was a kid, so I only had like one game at a time that I would actually like dunk myself into. And then World of Warcraft happened, and so I had one game
Yeah.
at a time, and it was World of Warcraft for like 10 years because.
You're still just playing
Because
Final
it's so
Fantasy
lame.
14?
Yup.
Yeah, I'm still playing that dorky Witcher card game. I'm almost done, and then I'm gonna do Far Cry New Dawn, and then back to the Kingdom Hearts train.
Yup. I've got
But-
Dark Knights like 2 levels from 70. Fisherman's almost like 2 levels from 70.
We still gotta launch
some
our
of that
like
today.
fishing show or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Did we tell you about this, Christian?
For what?
Whatever.
Your Witcher game?
No. Vito and I want to launch a Twitch stream or like a YouTube
yeah.
show.
You guys talked about this on the other episode. I
Oh, did
remember
we?
that.
It's just gonna be fishing
Fish
minigames.
streams.
Yeah.
I just got a pretty hilarious text from my cousin Rodrigo. He says, "The Dirt is probably the greatest movie of all time."
Never seen
You
it.
guys
He
are
goes-
crazy.
I don't understand how it got a bad rating. It was the greatest movie ever made.
All right.
So, of course, he's fucking around, but he knows what I went through when I first watched it. He was like, wow, that was fucking terrific.
What is The Dirt?
The Dirt's the Motley Crue movie.
Oh, yeah. I
Like
need to watch that.
The book
still.
adaptation.
You can hear about that on our most recent episode. Christian went on for about it for like 20 minutes.
No, I couldn't get
Do you
enough
guys
of
know?
it, man.
I was listening back to our old episode to do the editing. We make fun of Pete Davidson for like 5 minutes.
Oh, butthole eyes? Yeah.
All
Dude,
right.
I hate
It's like
Pete
1:15. We should start to wrap. What else was I gonna say though? Oh, I was playing NBA 2K this morning, and it has this feature that really doesn't work well, where you can like take a picture of yourself and it'll scan you and make a 3D model of yourself. So the picture of me looks like this half asleep Asian dude. And Ara noticed today for the first time that when I'm playing a home game, the fans in the stands will hold up like, you know what a fat head is, Vito?
No.
It's like a vinyl like cutout, but it's just the guy's head, but it's like this big. So they'll hold up those of my face. It freaked her out so bad. She's like,
great.
"Oh, why are they holding a giant your head?"
That's funny.
I mean, that's the thing that really happens. Yeah. Oh man.
Well, folks, I shall be off.
Final shout out. This summer, I can't remember the date. Final Fantasy 14, new expansion,
What's it called?
Dark something.
Stormflood? Or is that the one?
No, that's
already
the
out?
current one.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm blanking. I'm fucking stuck on Darksiders, and it's a different game entirely.
Darksiders.
Shadowbringers.
Really?
Shadowbringers is the expansion.
That is kind of
You
Darksiders.
sort of like non-spoilery because it's sort of like what they've told you going into the expansion is that you have to become the Warrior of Darkness because you're going to the first, which is a well, Joe, you know, right, with the different realms.
It's been a while.
Oh, okay. So Heidelin's like the light thing, and Zodiark's like the dark thing, and when they split, they created like 13 copies of the realm or whatever.
I see. That's how a realm is reborn.
Yeah, and so this is so we live on the source, and each like realm is like was a copy originally, but has grown to be different, and so that's why there's like different races and stuff, and beast tribes and stuff in the new expansion that we get to see that are only different because they've grown up differently culturally and everything. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so you have to become the Warrior of Darkness because that world is where the Warriors of Darkness that you fought like earlier in, or like way earlier in the storyline came from, and the reason why they became Warriors of Darkness was because their world is bathed in light and it's consuming everything in their world. So you're actually fighting. You're going from a Warrior of Light to a Warrior of Darkness, so that you can bring darkness and life back to the first.
Okay.
Yep. And so you're going to be fighting basically light sent kind of things where like angels and fucking like regal things and
Gotcha.
like
can't-
opposite of void sent.
I can't remember like any of the Final Fantasy 14 plot. It's all mixing with 15 in my head right now.
Oh yeah.
And the second thing we need, free methadone.
Free methadone. All
And
right.
on that note, I think that'll end the show out.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on our show. I'm going to flip you on over to Joe to give us the old plug-a-roos.
Yeah. You can find us.
What is this segment called?
It's called the Surge Protector because it's full of plugs, man. You can find us on our website. That's beefyboys.com. We're on iTunes, YouTube as the Beefy Boys, Twitter at beefy_boys, Instagram at beefyboysbudclub, Facebook.com/beefyboys, and our merch store is cafepress.com/beefyboysmerch1.
Buy your dog a t-shirt.
Hashtag buy your dog a t-shirt. Hashtag take back the t-shirts from last week. Throwback. All